Alright, hello. Castform VOD review. Uh, I watched this already, like, through, all the way. You do perma one bubble all the way, which obviously I don't agree with for the most part. But since it's like a re-clear setting, like it's a 10-minute clear, you don't really get punished as much as you would on like week 1 or 2, or if you're like bussing. You don't experience any of the downtime that you normally would when you're playing the game in like a long drawn out fight, where you're perma hitting the boss. You kind of get saved by like downtime mechanics where no one's hitting, and you can kind of rebuild back to the one bubble and like keep sustaining the one bubble. Again, I don't really agree with like the one bubble playstyle, but in the current state of the game, you can pretty much just get away with it. But if you're actually trying to improve for future raids like Kazaros, or I guess strike raids maybe, or like if Stoops wants to try bussing again like you did with Daymine, like if you do a 4-man mortem or like a 2C Brell or something, I would definitely suggest like sending as few unnecessary one bubbles as possible. Like I said, I already watched it, so I'll try not to call out every single one bubble. Maybe I'll suggest what I would do in like certain situations, but whatever. Right, already like I would have started portaling, or like I would have portaled first, because you want to start the cooldown. Right here, I don't know if this is a defensive awakening, but I think it's a bad awakening, because you have 4 skills up, your moonfall is 5 seconds, your portal's also up in 5 seconds. Sending these 4 skills plus your portal definitely gets you to the 2 bubble. But now pretty much you can't send any of your skills, or else you overcap. You're pretty much just you have to AFK for 3 seconds. I think you actually buffed too early. I think, yeah, that was 2 seconds, right? Buff that 2 seconds, you're just wasting 2 seconds of moonfall because you can't send your skills. Maybe that was for the CC immunity, but you didn't even do that right. Like I said before in the other VOD review, you can definitely just, or you want to definitely just stay on like the inside ring here, chase this laser, and just rotate around the boss clockwise. Because you can move around the boss with Hopper. You can Tiger and then just walk. You can counter, walk. You can kind of Starry and walk. It's kind of hard though, like maybe you just half cast it. But like right here, you're literally just walking. You have all your cooldowns up. You hopped once at the beginning, you don't press it at all. You didn't press Tiger a single time. And I guess this is where the one bubble snowball starts for like most people, right? They get to a part of the raid where they can't or don't send their skills and they want to buff. They have no meter for a 2 bubble, so they just send 1 bubble, and then they like snowball for 12 minutes just sending the 1 bubble. So like again for this mechanic, it's just the opposite of the first one. It's gonna go counterclockwise. At least for the beginning of this mechanic, where you don't even know where the pizzas are, you just chase like this one going counterclockwise. So you would hop right and like chase this one, send your Tiger, and then at this point where you have to resolve the mechanic, you just go to your spot, right? I think like you hopped on nothing. You get 0 meter there. I would space here, maybe hop twice because this is going to catch up, and you walk out to the middle and send your Tiger. I probably would have saved that awakening for the running mechanic, but It is what it is. Right here, you are red, so you can't go here. You could have gone here, but like realistically, it's kind of hard to see where the puddles are, so like walking out is fine. But then after the puddle's gone, you're just kind of AFK. You have so much time to either go for, no, you don't go for the counter, but you just like spacebar in and then hop, and then you can send your tiger for the destruction after. And like you haven't hopped in like 20 seconds. That one bubble is fine. Like this is probably the only good one bubble I've seen in the 2 minutes that you've been playing the raid. It's good because it's not a full 10-second window of DPS, so just squeezing out that 5 seconds of move fall is perfectly fine. But I don't think you did it on purpose. Also would have saved that orchids for the beginning of the running part, just so people can get a head start. Can also be sending your tiger into the boss here. Also, I don't usually save 2 stacks of portal, probably just 1. I don't know why you walked in there. You could, I mean, you're literally closer to the bottom, so you either walk here or you hop in. Instead you walk in and just take damage. And your hopper gives you shield, it's just free meter. I usually don't do that, I don't know why. And like this is where your awakening's handy, right? I guess for this party in specific, like you have 2 hitmasters which can hit from outside. This guy's dying, but like other than that, they could just be full hitting outside. And Stoops is front attack, so you can't really do anything. So maybe the awakening's not necessary for this party, but it's very nice to have. Pretty much same thing here as with the last one. You don't know where the pizzas are, and you pretty much just want to stay in between these two going clockwise. I think it's actually random for this one, but like in this situation, you just rotate around clockwise. You have all your meter builders up, but instead you just choose to walk. Also, yeah, I was gonna say, you should definitely be moonfalling here. You have 2 hitmasters. I think the Arcana didn't get it. So, for like this mechanic and the last one, I usually try to send my buffs close to the boss, because you don't really know where your party is. It could be split. Like the Arcana is across the map. You want to be like here, sending your buffs. My god. I think you saved his life. Should be building out the orb here. Okay, that's good. I would have hopped. There's a puddle here, but like, let's be honest, I didn't even notice it until now. And you definitely probably didn't notice it. I would just be hopping the orb here. Okay, that's actually a very dangerous tiger. Because like everyone wants to greed. I think Stoops is full hitting. Okay, you're lucky no one in this raid is greedy. If I try to do that, this is getting staggered. But it looks like everyone is AFK. But you should have just sent that into the ball and hopped. Also, you send one bubble's perma throughout the raid, but you don't send it here, which I think is really bad, because this is a very free damage window. So you just do nothing there. You could have very easily one bubbled there, one bubbled after, or ideally, like I said, you build like 2 bubbles or more off the orb here. 2 bubble and then 1 bubble after, or 2 into 2. But instead you do 0 into 2. Also, okay, you overlap here. I think I think you're too used to sending one bubbles that you don't know like the timer of the two bubble. So this is a 1 second buff. It's a good awakening. One bubble into awakening into two. Hopefully you don't overlap it. Portal is up for a very long time actually. You haven't hopped in a pretty long time as well. Okay, that was a very bad one bubble. You have your tiger up here. Like, it takes a very, very little time. You also have your portal up as well. You press anything except your Z here, because you can just two bubble, right? You have so many cooldowns available. Instead you opt to one bubble, and then you don't press your cooldowns anyway. You haven't pressed portal in like literally 15 seconds. Like right here, you have your two main meter gens here. Instead you counter, and the counter's not even for the push mean, right? Because you spacebar it. I think you have a problem with like meter gen priority or like skill prio, where you're not pressing the right buttons. Like it should be hopper or tiger like first, portal if it's close or at 2 stacks. And then I guess these two are like third and fourth, tied for third and fourth. But like you press your counter instead of hopper, tiger, or portal. I wouldn't go for that either. Probably saving awakening for the mechanic. Press your counter there for push immune or spacebar. Instead you're just knocked. I think, let's see. Instead of tigering, I would have, since you're hypering, I would have used the small window here to press your sun sketch instead of tiger. Because your AP is running out, I think. Okay. So I'm assuming you're trying to do the Draven bait. If you watch my video. So as soon as you see the pattern start, you should be pressing either, I guess you press your spacebar since you're mid hop. But if you're not hopping, you press your DR or counter to take aggro, right? So it's pretty much going to be right here when it locks onto a player. It's going to be on Stronk, I think. Yeah. It's going to be on him since he's closest at this point. So it's going to go like left to right this way. You going in here does literally nothing. You should have just gone like here and build meter. Going here does nothing, and then you get knocked again, which is really bad because you don't get up. Portal is at 2 stacks, just losing infinite meter. Should go build meter off the ball here. I would have half charged because you see your hopper coming up. I probably would have just ended it immediately, hopped on the ball here. Instead you portal. So right there, instead of holding your counter, you could have tapped it once. You miss, which is fine, but then instead of holding it, you could have waited like half a second and then press it again and get on the second one. But again, it's like a 8-man reclear, so no diff. That's a good stagger. He did it again, where like you have skills up and your moonfall is expiring, but like it takes so little time to press any of these skills and to build a 2-bubble here. You should have done that last time. Why didn't you do that last time? That was so good. Wait, call for a cleanse, man. You got 2 people with you on your team. So your portal. When's the last time you pressed your portal? You're just wasting your cooldown here. That's just unlucky. Couldn't go left. Well, I would have ended here instead of going back right. But where you were, you couldn't go left because you already walked back to the right. And like you can't. Yeah, that's just unlucky. Whatever. You're just bombing. You're in the wrong spot. Well. And it's just dead. This game's horrible. Yeah, well, this doesn't matter. I mean, like, here's your uptime. It's not even bad. Yeah, like, it's good, and I hate that it's good. But, like I said before, when we get to Kazaros, or, like, harder raids, like, you decide to actually do some hard content in this game, it's just gonna go down because you can't sustain perma 1-bubbling. The animation time of casting the 1-bubble moonfall is actually so much. It's like to the point where you can't cast your skills when you have to Z so much. In like raids where there's actual downtime, it's not a sustainable playstyle to like perma 1-bubble and try to have good uptime. I guess like main takeaways is you obviously need to stop 1-bubbling and focus more on pressing 2-bubbles, building to 2-bubbles, and like you waste a ton of cooldowns in situations where you could have very easily built for the 2-bubbles without losing uptime, right? But it seems like you're so focused on keeping the 1-bubble uptime, like moonfall, active that you just don't press your skills at all. Like Hopper wasn't pressed for like literally 30 seconds. Same thing with Tiger at a different time. Same thing with Portal, like many times actually. And like you have a skill prio issue where you're pressing the wrong skill at times where other skills are up. Like I mentioned with the snowballing thing, like you 1-bubbled 2 minutes into the fight, and then it was all downhill from there. And that all stemmed from the 475 mechanic where you decided to not press any of your skills. Like if you press your skills there, that's at least 10 more seconds of 2-bubbling, right? You're like scared to hit the boss for some reason. But it's like a very easily resolvable mechanic where you can full hit. So I don't know if that's like a player issue or like a raid knowledge issue. But like knowing what your skills do and adapting to the raid, learning the raid, and like how to play properly is very important. Not just for like this class, right, but like for being good at the game. But yeah, I mean, the game sucks. Reclearing is way too easy. They nerfed the raid 18 times. They're gonna nerf it 18 more. You suck, but you can be better. Alright, goodbye.